And what's going on? This is GC3, and I'm in the place to be here in lovely Phoenix, Arizona. Anyways, we're trying to do something a little new this year, and we are going to be starting out by helping promote the Arizona Community College Athletic Conference women's basketball and to have a little bit of a preseason preview show. Anyways, it's lovely. I can't wait. Super excited. And let me bring on my first guest. So, my first guest is going to be from one of the new members of the conference, College of Southern Nevada. Coach Savage, how's it going? And who's joining us with you as well?
Everything's great. Thanks for doing this. We really appreciate it. And this is Cieli Manapule, one of our returning players, is joining us today.
Hi, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining. So, Coach, let's get started with you first.
Yep.
My first question is how long have you been coaching there at Southern Nevada?
So the program itself, women's basketball is only 5 years old here. We're a relatively
Wow.
new program. I didn't coach the first initial kickoff year, but I've been the head coach ever since. So this will be my fourth season as the head coach here at CSN.
Awesome. And can you tell the fans about your coaching journey, your background?
Sure.
How'd you
Yeah.
end
No,
up there?
I'm in my 30 some odd year of coaching. I lost count at 30. I stopped counting. I've coached all different levels from the semi-pro to high school, obviously college, everything in between. I've coached men, women. Coaching's been what I do my entire life. So I've been lucky enough that I've been able to make a career out of it. And, being able to coach here at CSN has been a blessing because there's only three colleges, only three women's basketball teams in the whole state of Nevada. It's UNR, UNLV, and us. So to be able to be one of those three coaches here in the state is a big deal. So very excited. And yeah, my journey's been phenomenal. It's and this is a great way to wind down my coaching career. It's a great school, a lot of support, and coming from Region 18 to Region 1, we're excited for all that Arizona has to offer.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, I'm looking back on your records. Last year your team had an impressive 25-5 record. Can the fans expect a similar outcome this coming season?
Well, I certainly hope so. Yeah, we had a special year last year. It was one of those years. Again, being a new program, it was really great to have that special season with all those wins. We lost to three teams. Two of them we beat the second time we played around. So we're excited to see what we can do this year. I know that the ACCAC is going to be a lot of tough opponents. So we're excited to try to. We're not going to ever try to match a season, but I think we're in a good position. We got some nice players to do some good work this year.
Awesome. And again, to touch on that, you're new to the ACCAC. Are you familiar with any of your conference opponents?
Yes, yeah. Actually, a lot of the Division One ACCAC teams come up and play in our annual holiday tournament right before Christmas. This year, Eastern Arizona is coming up, and they've been here before. Last year, Central Arizona played up here. We came down and played Yavapai twice last year. Arizona Western has come up to our tournament a few times. Cochise will be our first time playing, but I'm familiar with them because, like any good basketball coach, I watch what the others are doing, and I got to watch Eastern and Cochise compete in the national championships and watch a lot of their games. So very, very familiar with with the league itself, and of course CCC was in Region 18 with us last year. So yeah, I'm very familiar with the league, and we play a lot of the D2s down in Arizona. We're thankful that they let us come down and play them, and a couple of them are going to come up and play us this year here in Vegas. So yep, very familiar with the team, with the league.
Oh, that's awesome. And my last question for you, Coach, is who are your three players that you expect to make a big impact for your
Well,
team this
let's see. Geez, I can't name three. I mean, obviously, I think my returning group, including Cieli. Cieli's actually on. She had to redshirt last year because of a medical injury. Had knee surgery, so she's back on her third year here. So we expect big things out of Cieli, and our other returners. Adrian Pulatasi was a big part of what we did last year, and Faith Mersberg and Braylon Cowhey, and of course we have Leah Mitchell. And so my returning group is pretty solid, and we got some really dynamic transfers and freshmen. So my job right now is to make it all come together. The pieces are there, the talent's there to compete at a high level, and excited for this group.
Well, I'm excited too. I plan to come and be doing more coverage of the ACCAC on the women's side. So
That's great.
I look
Come up
forward
to
to seeing
Vegas. Come up to Vegas.
You know what? I will. Vegas is kind of like my second home. I'm
There you
up
go.
there quite a few. So
Yep.
I plus the food. I mean, I'm native Hawaiian, and they call that the ninth island. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
being
we have
able to
two
go
of
up
our
there.
players are from Hawaii. We have
Nice.
5 poly players on our team, and 2 are from Hawaii. So we recruit pretty heavy in Hawaii.
That's awesome. So for my lone athlete, you want to tell your viewers your name, first and last name, and your position.
Yep. I'm Lesiali Manupule, and I play the 5, the center. Yeah.
Awesome. So what are you most excited for this upcoming season?
I'm I'm excited for the competition to see what it looks like this year. We switched our league comp to ACCA, yeah.
Yeah.
And so now this is like a new set of girls and a new team. So I'm just excited for like this change that's happening in this new season. That's what I'm excited for about most, the competition and what we got coming up ahead this season.
Awesome. So here's my next question for you, which is off the record. I never put in what does a typical day look like for you as a student athlete there at Southern Nevada?
Shoot, man, it's all really just putting in work. Coach reminds me all the time, the work that you put in now, the outcome of it later will, hopefully to see the benefit of the work that you put in off season or even just before preseason. So we're putting in work in the classroom, in the gym, everywhere, even talking to like the janitors or professors, however we talk, we make sure that we're working hard at whatever we do, and hopefully hoping that the outcome be great in the next season to come.
No, that's awesome. I really appreciate you sharing your insight because I do have a lot of younger players looking up and parents, and they don't really know. They don't have a inside perspective of college players, especially at the junior college level, because there's not a lot of media coverage or promotion of those student athletes. So again, thank you for answering that.
Yeah.
And the last question, you guys, kind of a fun one, and I love doing this, and the players kind of get a kick out of it. Hopefully, the coaches don't get mad and penalize the team with extra conditioning. Can you give me your best Coach Savage impression?
Oh gosh. Yeah. This is gonna trip me up. I couldn't really give an impression, but I could like give an example of what he would say, or like an example like
That's good.
That'll work.
You got her.
Man, you tripped me up. I wasn't prepared.
What's something I say a lot in practice or
baseline?
Baseline.
Yeah.
You know what? I can relate to that because when I was a student athlete, I was my personality, I'm like the class clown. I'm a jokester, and a lot of the time I'd be one of the ones responsible for the coach yelling, "Get on the baseline." And I was just like, and everybody just look at me and just start shaking their head. But it's also kind of funny because I got to switch roles and I was a coach myself. So being able to, and for me, instead of doing the normal, suicides, I would do 8 and 30s from the sideline.
Yeah.
And my kids hated that. I'm just like, sideline. Oh man, coach. I'm like, yep, get there. Let's go before I change my mind and add some more. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for joining me for this new thing that I'm trying to do and trying to expand the coverage of the ACCAC, just JUCO, women's college basketball together. So again, thank you guys and have a great weekend.
Yep. Thank you as well.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, appreciate your time. Best of luck.
Appreciate it. All right, guys. That was College of Southern Nevada, one of the new members here in the ACCAC. And we're going to go on a little break real quick. And here's a message from one of our sponsors. Got bugs out of this world? Have no fear. Free Yourself Pest Control is here. Give Derek a call at 480-580-1549 for your free estimate today. Again, please support Free Yourself Pest Control as they sponsor and support local communities and youth sports events. And we're back with the next guest. I had a little bit of technical difficulties, but hey, I got this equipment to work, and I'm very excited though. My next coach that I'm bringing on has built a dynasty. When I think of the ACCAC, I think of Coach here at Mesa Community College, Coach Stevenson. She's done a phenomenal job with her program. They're a national powerhouse year in and year out. Without further ado, here's Coach Stevenson. Coach, thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me.
No, I appreciate it. I know I was trying to get all the colleges. Again, this was kind of an idea that I had, was to try to get more pub for the women's junior college here in the state of Arizona. And we have a lot of just talented players that come through the conference. And, it's just a good way to give us a little bit of a preseason preview.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity for us.
This is awesome. So, hey, my first question for you is, what are you most excited about this upcoming season?
Just the ability. Our sophomores, we've had a great summer, and our team coming together. We've worked really hard this summer, and they have a big goal in mind, and they really want to win the region again, and they want to get back to Missouri, and they want to get back to the level of where we competed last year. So to see them coming in and even learning faster right now, they're kind of, I'm not saying we're picking up where we left off, because that would be way too good, but they're just really coachable right now, and really just absorbing everything and doing a good job leading the newcomers that have come in too. So I'm just excited to watch their leadership skills continue to bloom.
Oh, that's awesome. That's always good. And again, I mean, it's not like you get 4 years to you got to get them and
that's what's been fun about this so far, is because we do return a lot. We're returning 10. So it is a different kind of season for us, because last year we had a brand new team basically. So now they're all returning. And so we're just at a little different learning curve this year, a little faster, I guess.
Oh, that's awesome. And Coach, you've built a program that's a national powerhouse. I mean, I talk to other coaches, and when we talk about Arizona Community College basketball, Mesa's always in that conversation. What advice can you give coaches that are striving to get to that level? And this can not just go for college coaches, but even high school coaches that are watching in, because I know you've been doing this for a while.
Well, thank you for that. The biggest thing is good players make you a good coach. So go recruit. I mean, let's just be honest. If you got good players, you're gonna have a good team base. Oftentimes, I should say, but also just continue to learn as a coach. Obviously, the game has changed. I've been coaching since for 25 years now, and obviously the game has changed a little bit. So I've had to I feel like I've had to relearn basketball in the last 5 or 6 years. So always continue to learn. Have the ability to reflect on feedback, whether that's from other coaches or whoever your support system is, but more importantly, your players throughout the years. And, when the season ends, kind of reflect on their feedback and see what works. Remind yourself that where you're at, so things don't get too complicated, or so you can make it fit. So I think that we've always prided ourselves in being able to coach to the personnel we have, because we go out and look for good quality players versus a system that fits us. Because like you said, we get one team 1 year. So, find a system that fits your players and always continue to build right relationships. I mean, the reason we have been successful in the recruiting department is because of our relationships. Coach Willie and myself and Sam, like we have built good relationships throughout the valley. So that means we get some of their top players, and now we get to sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Absolutely. That's just a coach's dream. I know I live a coach's dream because, I'm not not tied to one program. I get to go and watch all the best players from all over the country and all over the state. So it's just super exciting. My next question for you, Coach, is, which players, and I'm not going to limit it to 3 because it does take a team, 5 players and the support, the rotational players coming off the bench, to be successful. So which players will make a big impact for you this upcoming season?
Well, and to your point, you're right. To your point, it takes a lot of everyone to buy into the whole team atmosphere. And I think that's why we've been successful last year as well with so many players on our bench. Our roster was a large roster. And once again, this year it will be too. However, Ashian Ash Hunter out of Mesa High, she's a returner. She'll be point guard, shooting guard, and she's had a great summer working. So she'll be pivotal in that position. Our bigs, we're bigger than we have been in the past and deeper in the 4s and 5s. And so Brittany Kagbara and Brooklyn Scurry, they're going to be pivotal. Elena Boss, she is a defender. Like, you guys should just come watch us just to watch this child defend on the ball and everywhere. She is good. But everyone is going. I just feel like our returners, and then we have Bella Barrett came back, and so just her IQ and her floor position is going to be pretty pivotal for us to be successful in what we want to do this year. So right now, everyone is buying in to what we want, what our vision is, and then our newcomers like Misha Casario out of Gilbert High, she's going to really be learning that point guard spot and be able to run the show for us. So I don't know, it's going to take all of us, but I would say our bigs and Ash and Aaliyah, all of our returners are going to be huge for us because they already know what to expect and they know what to expect.
No, it'll definitely be exciting. I've been able to peek in here over the last 2 years, and your teams are very fun to watch. I mean, they really get after it, play up tempo, and of course they're well coached because they execute.
We spend a lot of time sitting in the half court in practice, which is probably not what normal coaches do, but a little bit of what we do.
So the last question that I was going to bring up is, one of my favorite players to ever come out of Arizona is Mackenzie Shivers going to Oregon State. And again, I saw her potential when, she was in high school. And I know she didn't get a whole lot of looks from, the bigger 4 years. And she ended up taking the JUCO route. So, I mean, I want to just talk about that journey and, just to open – people's eyes and to what JUCO can do to benefit you if you're not getting those looks by the bigger schools.
Yeah, no, Kenzie, you're right. Kenzie's a special one. And I mean, she has recruited a lot of players for us. So when people found out that Mackenzie was coming to MCC, that class got bigger. And now that Mackenzie's played here, I can say, hey, Kenzie, she played here. And they're like, huh. And she comes here, or they will come. So we're riding her coattails a little bit in the recruiting world. However, Kenzie's journey was just different just because of her injury. She blew her knee out her senior year, September, I think it was, of her senior year. So that's the only reason we had a chance at her. So we got Kenz, and then she obviously, it just took a little bit of, it took some time for her knee to come back to full strength, which we probably saw 1 3/4 of her legs at the same time. But now over the summer, like, she's on 2 healthy legs going to Oregon State, and she's going to be in a better place, obviously. But, she wanted architecture. they have architecture, and it worked out, and her grades obviously were phenomenal. But Mackenzie's IQ, Mackenzie's ability to lead, Mackenzie's composure in big moments, the ability to hit big shots, and a lot of little things that Coach Ruick looked at when watching film and talking to me is what intrigued him about Mackenzie. But she deserves everything that's coming for her, because that kid has the best attitude ever.
Absolutely. I can agree. I mean, she's a wonderful kid. I mean, just, talking to her, seeing her work ethic and her no quit, attitude. I know it's when an athlete goes through any type of a major injury like that, mentally it's draining. And for her to bounce back like that and turn around, turn that setback into a comeback is just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And she, you would have never known she was, if she ever struggled with the mental piece of coming back from an injury, we didn't know about it. She never, it was just always just work. And she was real disciplined, and man, it takes time. So I guess if people want to learn from her, there's different timelines for everybody. Everybody's body is different and responds differently. So just take a deep breath, follow the process, and eventually it'll work out. And don't compare yourself, I think, is probably one of the best things she probably ever did. She didn't compare herself to others going through the same ACL surgery. So it all worked out.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you for joining us on the preseason preview show, and good luck this season. And we'll look forward to seeing your team here at the Jamboree here in a couple of weeks.
All right. We appreciate it. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Coach. All right, guys, that was Coach Corey Stevenson, head women's coach there at Mesa Community College. And we'll be right back after this message from one of our sponsors. Come check out the GC3 Apparel Fall Sale. We got single-side uniforms for $40, reversible uniforms for $60, no art fee, and a 2 to 3 week turnaround time. For more information, contact 480-387-7744 or check out gc3apparel.com. And we're back. This is GC3, and we're back to continue on the ACCAC preseason preview show. The next program and team that I have that are going to be joining us is the South Mountain Community College Cougars. And I got Coach Dee Dee Gibson that I'm going to bring on here right now. Coach, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm just great. I'm enjoying the weekend. The best time. I mean, even though it's still hot out here, it's going to cool down. And besides the weather, I'm more excited about basketball season. I mean, that's just my favorite time of the year. It's like a holiday season for me. It reminds me.
No, for real. I'm super excited. So I'm excited that you have me here. So I'm ready to rock and roll with you. No,
again, thank you for joining us on the show. So, Coach, how long have you been coaching there at South Mountain?
This is my second season, my first full season, I would say. But I've been coaching for quite a while. But this is my second season as a head coach at South Mountain Community.
Oh, that's awesome. So, what can you tell us about your coaching journey so the viewers can kind of get to know you a little bit?
Yeah, I started as a volunteer coach back in 2013 at South Mountain High School, one of my alma maters. I went to CBU. I came back on an injury. So because I didn't continue to play, I wanted to stay around the game. So I started there. Was at South Mountain for about 6 years. Did a season over at Centennial High as an assistant coach. And then I received my first high school JVB head coaching position back at South Mountain. So I've kind of been around the youth. I've done a little bit of AAU as an assistant. I assisted at Phoenix College prior to coming here at South Mountain, and did a little bit of training. So I've been around ball for over 10 years as a coach and a trainer. And then this is my second season as a head coach here at the collegiate level. So I'm excited about it.
Well, what a journey. I mean, that's quite a turnaround as far as you climbing the ladder. I mean, I coached for 10 years and it was so tough to even get that opportunity of being a head coach. So, which I finally did. But at that point I was like, yeah, it's time for me to go back and just do media and evaluations and do what I do every day. So,
Mhm.
Coach, I've seen you on the recruiting trail. You're putting in that work to build the foundation of success for your program. So,
Yes.
how is that going? I mean, now you had kind of a full year under your belt getting ready for the season. So, I mean, how is that going into this season?
Recruiting has been great. It's been strenuous, but great. We started out, trying to focus in on our girls last year, so we didn't have a lot of time to recruit during the season. So we went hitting the pavement, postseason with recruiting, and was able to retrieve a lot of talent. I mean, the talent that we wanted. Made sure the girls were good academically, which was our number one priority. But it turned out very well, and I'm very happy with the girls that we're bringing in. As you may know, it's a completely new team. So it was a lot of work for with me and my staff to find these prospects, and I'm glad they're here with us this year.
Awesome. So, who are a few players that you're going to expect to make a big impact this season?
Oh, that's a tough question. I go back and forth with it. I have my board; it changes every day. I have so many different combinations, but I will say one of them is Chloe Wiley. She was with us last year as a shooter. She made a huge impact. We didn't have a great season, but the progress was there. But this year, I believe with her shooting ability and how it increased her percentage, her work ethic, she's going to probably shock the conference this year with her shooting percentage. My second person would be Rahima Salam. She's coming in as a transfer, big body. She's well-rounded, not just as a person and a student, but as an athlete. I mean, you can pretty much use her anywhere, but her tenacity to rebound, I think she's definitely going to make noise in this league. Now, the third person is really hard. I have a lot of people that could fill that position. But from previous practices, I will say Leslie Aguirre. She's a very, very smart point guard. She knows how to get her teammates involved. She knows how to keep them uplifted. So she's probably like our mother of the team on the floor. So I love that.
That's awesome. Well, with that being said, talking about players, let me bring a couple of your players onto the show. Give me 1 second.
Of course.
What is going on, ladies? How are you guys doing?
Hey, ladies.
Hello.
All right, so let's introduce you. So, please, your name and what position you play, so the viewers know.
My name is Chloe Wiley, and I'm a shooting guard at South Mountain.
My name's Rahima Salam, and I'm a forward.
Nice. So let me ask you two, what does a typical day look like of being a player there at South Mountain? I mean, one of the things like with my platform is I have a lot of parents and I have a lot of prospective players that are looking to get to the next level. And they just want to know kind of like what, how is it? Because, not a lot of people know what happens, as a college athlete at the next level, especially at the JUCO level.
My typical day as a student athlete at South Mountain Community College, I have my class first starting at 10 o'clock. We have practice Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I get in the trainer right after. I also have practice from 4 to 6 every day.
Okay, wow. Okay, it's a busy day.
What about you, Rahima?
I'm all online, so I'm not on campus as much, but we have weights Tuesdays and Thursdays and practice every day. And I'm in the trainer sometimes doing rehab.
And that's kind of the fall, because I know it does pick up once, your regular season begins and, it gets real busy. So, it's tough. I mean, I know it is. I was a student athlete myself, and I unfortunately injuries took over my career, and I was only able to play up till high school. But I went to a college prep high school, and I remember waking up every day at 5 a.m. I had to get on the bus by 6 because I lived an hour and a half away from school. So then I get to school and I try to do all my homework, and I'm literally would leave the house when it was dark and come home when it was dark, 5 days of the week, plus weekends having skills training, and it was off-season club stuff and off-season workouts with the school team. So I get it. Well, the last part of the show is normally the most fun part of the show for the moment,
Lord.
unless, coach will be like, okay, I'm going to remember that. All right, just wait till next practice. I got you. So
I'll give y'all pass this time.
can you guys give me your best Coach Gibson impression?
So when Coach Didi comes into practice upset or in her feelings, as she says, she likes to say, and we're in the group huddle, and she likes to say, "Fix your face." Okay, welcome back to practice. Here we are. And she just continues on about her day and goes over her practice plan on what we're going to do for practice.
That's hilarious. What you got, Rahima? Because I know you got a lot of them.
I know she's quiet. She's scheming right now.
It's like if I do anything, make a bucket, she starts screaming, "Let's go, rah, rah!" Or then baseline. We on the baseline. Baseline.
Baseline all the time.
Baseline.
I appreciate that. Well, Coach, here's something I can give you. My student athletes would love it when I was coaching. They would love when I say sideline. And what I would make them do is do sprints, sideline to sideline, 6 of them in under 30 seconds. And I'd call that a 6 and 30. So I just say sideline. And I could just see, I'm like, I didn't say tomorrow. I said right now. If not, it's going to be 2. And man, Coach.
I mean, they've experienced that sideline love as well. I mean, there's a lot of love in that gym.
17 under a minute.
Mm-hmm.
They've experienced some sideline love and baseline love, of course. But yeah,
okay.
I'm excited though to see how this goes, how this all translates. But thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
Coach, again, thank all of you guys. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to the season. I plan to be there at the JUCO Jamboree to get kind of more of a inside look on what's going to happen possibly this season. And again, good luck and thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
you.
Appreciate it. I'm put them backstage. All right, guys, and that was the South Mountain Community College Lady Cougars. And now for another break and a message from one of our sponsors. Come check out the GC3 Apparel Fall Sale. We got single-side uniforms for $40, reversible uniforms for $60, no art fee, and a 2 to 3 week turnaround time. For more information, contact 480-387-7744 or check out gc3apparel.com. And we're back. We are back with our next guest, continuing on the ACCAC preseason preview show. And we got another special guest, of course, and hailing from the Chandler Gilbert Community College out there in the Southeast Valley, I got the Chandler Gilbert Lady Coyotes, Coach Matt Strickland, brand new head coach of the Coyotes. Coach, welcome. Ladies, welcome to the show. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
No, I appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedule. I know a lot of teams right now, they're in preseason mode. They're doing fundraisers. They're doing practices, workouts. I got players studying because I'm sure your first quarter is almost done. So you're getting ready for those midterms, end of quarter, tests and whatnot. So let's start with Coach Strickland. Again, Coach, welcome to Arizona. This is going to be your first season here at Chandler Gilbert Community College. What are you most excited about?
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm glad to be here in Arizona. But I'm most excited about, the opportunity we have in front of us. It's a great league we're a part of, and I'm excited for the opportunity to get out and compete against some of our best teams, which are ultimately some of the best teams in the country. So really excited for the challenge and opportunity ahead of us.
Oh, awesome. So, and Coach, I kind of know your history a little bit, but I want you to tell a little bit about your coaching journey. Where you got started and how'd you, all the way up to now until you landed out here at Chandler Gilbert.
Yeah, I got my coaching start at my alma mater, Gillette College, junior college in Region 9 in Gillette, Wyoming. 2 years as the women's basketball assistant coach fresh out of school. So did 2 years there and then moved over to the men's side for the next 3 years. Got the associate head coaching position at the University of Montana Western, where we had a great 2 years up there in Montana. And then and eventually went down to LSU Shreveport as the men's basketball graduate assistant. So got my master's degree. And then after that 1 year, ended up being blessed with the opportunity to become the head coach at LSU Shreveport for the women's team. So we had a great run there, good 4 years, a couple championships, a couple of national tournament appearances. And so took the opportunity to get closer to home. I'm from California and got the chance to come down to Chandler Gilbert. So I'm really excited to hit the ground running here.
No, that's awesome. That's quite a journey. So, speaking about coaching, what are some of your key foundation pillars for success for your program?
Yeah, I think some of the main ones for me are discipline and consistency. We talk about stacking good days on top of good days, and then being accountable, both on the floor, in the classroom, and socially. We're making sure we're doing the right things day in and day out. So that starts with me as a head coach and trickles down to the assistants and the players. So discipline, consistency, and accountability are some of the main things we're preaching and implementing right now.
No, amazing. So, who are a couple of players that you expect to make a big impact for you this upcoming season?
Yeah, well, I've got two here with me. Sarah is here, actually, and then Mac out of Utah. Sarah's from the Phoenix area, Mac's from Utah. So both guards. Sarah had played at the 4-year level already, transferring back home here. And then Mac from Utah, she's going to be a freshman, but they're going to be a big part of what we're doing. Chloe inside, local kid, she's going to be an enforcer in the paint. And then Melanie Ortiz out of Vegas are going to be some of the new faces that we've got in the program that should make a big impact this season.
Awesome. So, now I'm going to turn my attention to your players. So, players, do you want to introduce yourselves to the viewers around the World Wide Web and what position you play?
Yeah, my name is Sarah Smout, and I play point guard or shooting guard.
And I'm Matt Corsley, and I play shooting guard.
Nice. So can you guys kind of give me insight? So what is your pregame ritual? Like for me as a player, when I played, I used to have to – my lunch would be super light. It'd be like a sandwich and a small salad. And then I always had to shower before a game. I don't know why. I always had to take a shower. It just would kind of – I don't know. It just would cleanse everything. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like how the gladiators and back in the day would, get, all dressed up going into war. So, what are your guys' pregame rituals that you like to do to get you focused and ready to go for games?
So yeah, I really like to listen to music. So I have I actually have a basketball playlist that I like to listen to before every single game, and it just helps me get motivated and hyped.
Okay.
Yeah, I have music I listen to for sure before every game. But then I always eat like a Subway sandwich or some sort of a sandwich before a game. That's it. I have to. But besides that, really, there's nothing specific I do.
And for me too, like I always had to have clean socks too. Like, I don't know what it was. Like
That's a good one.
Little things. Like I'm a big germaphobe, and I'm like, yeah, before I go and play, in a game, I gotta have my clean socks and all my right gear.
Yeah, I know they're clean.
It's like I don't know, I couldn't. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me on the pregame preview show. And I wish you guys best of luck this season, and I look forward to coming to your games.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. So that was the Chandler Gilbert Community College Lady Coyotes led by Coach Matt Strickland. And now for a little bit of a break and a message from one of our sponsors. Got bugs out of this world? Have no fear. Free Yourself Pest Control is here. Give Derek a call at 480-580-1549 for your free estimate today. Again, please support Free Yourself Pest Control as they sponsor and support local communities, and youth sports events. And it's GC3, and we're back for the next guest. So next guest that I'm bringing on to the ACCAC preseason preview show is a good friend of mine. I've been following his program here for a few years. He's built a very solid program down there in Southern Arizona. Without further ado, let me bring on head coach of Pima College, Coach Todd Holthaus. Coach, how you doing this weekend?
I'm doing good, George. Thank you so much, and thank you for doing this for the entire conference. It's very cool.
No, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to do something a little different. I mean, you've seen in the recent years, there's just been an increase in coverage for women's basketball, which is great, but everybody's targeting high school. So, I'm deciding to try to take the path of least resistance and try to do something a little different and trying to cover some women's college, especially out here. We have a lot of talent and a lot of great things going on in the conference as a whole.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm one of the old dogs, and so it's been cool to kind of watch how this whole thing has evolved, and guys like yourself that help promote these young ladies and follow their careers and get us to the point where we're getting some coverage and getting our kids moved on after they get done here.
Oh, absolutely. So let's get into it, Coach. The first question I have for you is, you built a national powerhouse. I mean, I talked to 4 years, around the country. And when I bring up Arizona Community College basketball, your program and your name is one of the forefronts of the conversation. So, what are some of the ingredients for success in building that powerhouse?
Well, I think, first of all, it's flattering. I don't ever look at it that way in terms of like trying to get accolades for myself, but I just think that it's been a journey that takes a lot of hard work, and obviously having great kids, but I'm also probably blessed with a great coaching staff that's, stays with me year after year, and the consistency has been great. And then looking for the right kids. And then once we found something that works, kind of sticking with it and then tweaking it when we need to.
That's awesome. I know, Coach Pete, man, I got a great relationship with him over the years. He's probably one of the hardest working coaches in the state, or probably on the West Coast, because he's at everything. He's everywhere. And it's funny because he'll walk up to me and he'll be like, "You're everywhere too." I just start laughing. I said, "I'm just trying to keep up with you because you cover a lot too on the recruiting trail."
Yeah, I'm so blessed to have Pete, and not only as my assistant coach, but him and I have been friends for so long. When he coached at South Point and I was coaching at Flowing Wells, we had a great rivalry, and then for it to kind of come forward to the point where he's my lead recruiter, that's for sure. And he enjoys going out to all the different events that you guys put on and out in all the different gyms that are all across the state. And it's allowed me to be a father at the same time and follow my own kids' careers and, kind of stay away from not being at home as often. So I'm blessed to have Pete, and he does such a good job of finding great kids and, kind of finding diamonds in the rough, so to speak.
Absolutely. So the next question I got for you, the next topic is, how do you feel about the new format of the league? I know there's mixed reviews. Me as a fan of basketball, I'd love to see D2s play D1s. Who cares? I want to see them play. So just so we can see it as a measuring stick for everybody. So, I mean, how do you feel about the new format this upcoming season?
Well, I'm kind of like you. I'm a traditionalist in a way where I really enjoyed tough competition. I love playing the D1s. I love a home and away, so you get to play them at home and you get to go away. And so I guess, I'm probably more in the boat where I would love to play them every year, and because I think it makes us better. It makes our conference great. It battle tests us for if we make it to nationals. We've seen the best of the best, and so nothing really at nationals is something new or different that we haven't seen before. So I'm with you in the sense that I wish we would just kind of keep it as it was, but I also understand that there's other factors at play. And so I guess if I'm being selfish, I would rather keep it the old way, but I also understand that administrators and things above us have to make decisions that are best for their schools and their programs.
Understandable. So, now let's talk about, actually getting into the season. So, who are a couple of your players that we should keep an eye on, coming into this 24-25 season?
Well, I think that Riley Wall was a great freshman for us last year. And, part of our job is to hopefully find him a place after Pima. Well, she was able to go to San Jose State after her freshman year. And while that's disappointing because it'd be nice to have her for this year, it's also great because, it just shows that, when you come to Pima, you'll have a chance to move on and play at another level. And so Riley is gone. And then we, getting back this year, we'll get back Kennedy Neiman, who was playing with Riley at the guard spots until she lost, she hurt her shoulder and she actually got a redshirt year for it. So we'll have her back in the mix this year. She got to play 9 games last year, but then we lost her. So Kennedy's kind of like a freshman and a half, so to speak, because she did get a half, 9 games under her belt before she left. We have good returners inside with Rory Hoffmeyer, my daughter Annalise Holthaus, some sophomore presence, and then Amelie Bufio Gutierrez is a name that you probably know and remember, and she'll be a sophomore for us this year. So we have some good experience. We have some great newcomers. We have Sophia Cambridge from Page, who's been doing really well, preseason wise, and so I'm excited. You and I talked about her last year, and I think she's probably a player that if she was down in Tucson or in Phoenix, she probably would have got a little more exposure. But she played on a state championship team in Page, and so those kids know how to win, and so I'm excited about her prospects and her upside as one of our freshmen. Then we also have Malicia Nelson, who's from Window Rock, who was the 3A Offensive Player of the Year, and so I'm excited about her. And she's played the 3A basketball, and sometimes I think the 3A basketball is often overlooked in terms of just the quality of play. I love coaching those kids that come from the res and coming down and playing and getting mixed in with our culture and our program. And so I'm excited about that. We have Lucy Land, who's a freshman from Ucaipa, California. And so, she was, probably someone that not a lot of people around here have heard about, but hopefully, she keeps progressing as I think she's capable of, and she's going to have a great freshman year too. So we're kind of an unknown quantity right now because we have some different faces and things like that. But you want to be playing well in March, and so that's the key.
Absolutely. Last season you had a very successful season. So how does last season's success kind of propel you and your team into this season?
Well, that's a great question because we rely on our sophomores. We only get them for 2 years here in the junior college world, and so if they've had the experience of going to nationals and seeing what the best teams in the country look like, now when we go back to practice, those sophomores understand a little bit more what it takes to get to that level and what we need to do to get back there. And so just having that experience for sophomores has been great, and we'll rely on them a lot because they've been there.
No, I agree. I mean, and it's, I was talking with Coach Stevenson over there at Mesa, and, JUCO is tricky coaching JUCO because, it's not like high school where you have 4 years with your kids. It's not like the 4-year level where you have, most times you'll have 4 years with your kids. So it's, it's like a snatch and grab and, hey, we got to get you ready, right? And then throw you back up to the next level. So it can be a lot, it can be tricky. But at the same time, for kids to transition from high school into that 2-year level and be able to compete that, which is a very high level, which parents and players at the high school don't often realize that. I advise them, go to a game. Like the ACCAC is just, from when I first started going to games to now, it's on a whole nother level. Like there's so much really good talent. And a lot of those kids could be mid-major, high major.
Yeah. And I just think, I feel like I have a lot of different feelings about the portal, so to speak. But if anything, I do feel like junior college has become a great option for kids because a lot of those high school seniors that, prior to the portal, I feel like maybe aren't getting the looks now that they used to get because a lot of schools now, the 4-year schools, will wait for them to come. They'll wait for the portal as opposed to going and getting high school seniors. And so I feel like if we're smart, we take advantage of that. And now we're going to have even better quality players because we're going to have a lot of the high school seniors that didn't get maybe the chance that they thought And now they understand that, hey, JUCO would be a great stepping stone for, the next step in their career. And so I think the quality of our play has always been good, but I think that it's only going to get better here in the next few years.
No, I agree. And like I had a conversation with a prospect and their parent, and, they felt, just slighted by, well, how come, they're trying to compare their child's journey with another child. I'm like, that's not the case. I go, your child is a guard. There's guards are a dime a dozen. So you have to do something to stand out. But I go, you know what? Don't prove me and other people who analyze this right. Prove us wrong. If you truly believe that your kid's a Division I player, go to a JUCO and put up some godly numbers, and then you'll get there.
Absolutely.
Don't be a JUCO All-American.
Yes.
You'll get recruited by a D1 in a heartbeat.
Yeah, for sure. I think you probably see it a lot because you help a lot of those kids, but I don't think parents have a great grasp of what junior college basketball is all about. And years ago, way back when, I played junior college ball, so I've always understood the value of it in terms of I wasn't really ready to be recruited, and I wasn't really highly recruited out of high school, but 2 years of junior college ball, and I ended up at Grand Canyon, and then it sends me on this whole path. But I've always been a fan of junior college opportunities, and I feel like if parents would just take a few extra minutes to kind of really look into it, they would understand what we're talking about, and they would probably value it a little bit more.
Absolutely, because the conversations I've had with four-year coaches, George, who's in the portal or who's JUCO, we want them. They're older. We don't have to worry about having to. They're already pretty much a polished product, ready to go most of the time.
Right. They can insert and plug them right in.
So
yeah,
that's both on the men's and women's. And, again, I'm just glad that I'm able to have this show too. And we can discuss this. So try to change the culture on how JUCO is viewed, because I've had other, even on the men's side, I've had other parents. Oh, my son could play at a JUCO. I'm like, no way. They're a Christian college, small college kid. They wouldn't last in the ACCAC.
Right.
And they're like, well, how do you know? I'm like, have you ever gone to a game? Like, I advise you. Those are grown men and women playing in that. I go, it's not what you think of like a junior varsity. Like, this is high level. Some of those teams could. Right. In my opinion, even in different sports, could beat some Division I programs.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But Coach, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us on the show. I appreciate your support as always.
Always, man. I appreciate you, and that we'll see each other soon. And I just appreciate all the work that you're putting in, day after day, year after year. And so I enjoy our friendship probably more than anything. But thanks for doing this, and the conference. Obviously, the coaches appreciate it as well.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. All right, guys, that was Coach Todd Holthouse, the head women's coach at Piedmont Community College. And we're going to take another break and a message from one of our sponsors. Come check out the GC3 Apparel Fall Sale. We got single-side uniforms for $40, reversible uniforms for $60, no art fee, and a 2 to 3 week turnaround time. For more information, contact 480-387-7744 or check out gc3apparel.com. This is GC3, and we are back with the ACCAC preseason preview show. My next guest, I'm really excited about, because what's so awesome was, our careers in basketball have kind of crossed paths multiple times. I mean, this guy known me when I used to coach, and it's crazy because people would be like, George, we didn't know you used to coach. I'm like, yeah, I did. There's very few people who are still coaching now that know I used to coach. And this guy's one of them. He's been just, besides, being welcoming me into the coaching fraternity when I was first coaching. Moreover, he's been a friend and a mentor to me. I mean, I followed his coaching career as well, because he blew up. I mean, he started at a small school, ended up at a little bit of a bigger school, and then boom, took the plunge to the college level. Was at a D2, NAIA, JUCO, as assistant. Now, it's full circle. I knew it was only a matter of time for him to lead his own program. And without further ado, here's my guy, Coach Ernest Shand of Glendale College. Coach, how's your weekend? How you doing?
It's been great, man. Actually, just got to go watch some fall league games this morning. Looking forward to being on here with you, and what a tremendous intro. I really appreciate you, man. Like you said, we both come a long way watching each other in our, successes and journey along the way, and grateful to be here with you, George.
No, hey, again, I appreciate all your support over the years and love. I mean, you've kind of helped me, because there was a lot of points where I was kind of a crossroads in my journey in basketball and not knowing kind of where to go. And, there was times you had some great conversations with me, because there's times I'd be calling you late at night when you're on the East Coast and you still took my call and, hey, George, how you doing? And, we'd just be talking, but, it's just so awesome. So, let's get into it. Leading the Lady Gauchos, this is it's your second year, but this is your first full season here, so you had this one whole, you have a year under your belt, but this is going to be your first full year. So, having a full off season, what breakthroughs have you had with your program?
The biggest one I'd have to say, man, is our culture, and the way it's come together really in such a short amount of time. When there's turnover and changing out the guard in the program, players either kind of buy into it or they don't, right? And so we've had some tremendous leaders right off the bat that have really helped set the tone. And it's really proven in this upcoming season and the recruiting class that we brought in. If you saw us, man, you would think that these girls have been playing together for years because of how well they just enjoy each other, whether it be in, our class, if it's off-court stuff. Right now, they're all fundraising, for us. And it's been a blast to coach. I look forward to that 45-minute drive to Glendale every day because of these young women. So I would say the culture has been the biggest breakthrough. But then also, having finally our first off season of skill development and the strides that some of our young ladies have made has been super impressive. And we're just so excited for them to be able to get on the court soon with the Jamboree coming up this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. I can't wait, to check it out. It's always a great event to be able to just get a preview of all the junior college teams, in the conference. And in the conference, in my opinion, has been getting better year in and year out. A lot of talent. So, kind of, riding the tail of culture, which we all know culture, without no culture, there is no success. There is no foundation.
Absolutely.
You won't be successful in anything you do without culture. And, which coach, I know you've been under, many really great coaches. One that comes to mind is Coach Sam Ballard, legend, ACCAC legend on the men's side, coach there at Mesa Community College. But, which coach, has made the biggest impact on your coaching career?
I would be remiss if I didn't include Coach Ballard in that. And I would say that my high school coach, Coach Vernon, is probably the reason why I wanted to start coaching. Just seeing how he impacted lives off the court through basketball. But then Coach Ballard, working with him, learning from him, sharing my thoughts with him, he's the reason why I learned that coaching is about everyone but the coach. And so that's really started to transcend how I approach coaching. And again, coaches are very accessible, right? And so you can very easily get wrapped up into the, oh, look at me kind of thing. I drew that play up. I won that game. That's not how that works, man. The players play. They score the points. They get the assists and rebounds and all that stuff. And it's our job as coaches to help guide them and put them in positions to be successful. And I learned that, very quickly from Coach Ballard. Like, we could have all the best X's and O's there are, but if you don't have players that are willing to buy into your culture and do what you're asking them to do and believe that you have a plan for them, you're not going to be successful. And not just on the court, but we're also trying to prepare them to be successful at the 4-year level and then on in life in society. And so Coach Ballard, he told me once that the best compliment you can pay someone is that they're a good person. And so I've really tried to not just coach that way, but just live life that way, simply being a good person. And by no means am I perfect, but I know that my intentions toward players and families and other coaches, even the ones I compete against, are always pure. And I think that's what just makes for the great relationships that we've been able to build over the years. And again, you and I are proof of that too. And the relationships that we're building in the conference, again, even though we compete against each other, it's always great to see each other out on the recruiting trail, because it's all about the kids. That's what we bring it back to. And Coach Ballard helped really establish that for me.
Absolutely. I can agree with that. Relationships, man, and doing things the right way and, for the right reasons. So, Coach, let's pivot to, I kind of like dropped the ball a little bit about, your coaching journey. Cause, I remember you were a head coach at Salt River. Then you went on to Horizon Honors where I was, I coached against you. And then, eventually you made that trip to the college level. So, what can you tell the viewers about your coaching journey in your career?
Man, it's been a great ride. Ups and downs, peaks and valleys, whatever you want to call them. It's been life experience. And I'm blessed to have encountered so many different people along the way, because I've learned a lot from every stop I've been at, whether it be even before I started getting paid to actually coach, when I was, back in New York and a volunteer assistant at the school that I was at, student assistant really, at the school that I was at, just trying to get by on work study and our meal plan. But then getting hired, at that D3 that I was at SUNY IT, being responsible very early on in my career for really impactful stuff. Like I remember having the scout report for our SUNY championship game. Like that's a big deal. I was maybe, 23, 24 at the time. And it just continued to draw me in and give me that confidence that as long as I continued to listen and learn and then try to apply, that, things would stick and I would continue to evolve as a coach and be about my people. But then moving out to Arizona, was blessed to get that job at Salt River at the spry young age of 27, and haven't looked back. I've been all across the country pretty much, all different levels, except for NCAA Division I, and landing my first head coaching job at the college level now here at GCC. I think it's time now to make some new goals, but all those goals involve GCC. GCC women's basketball has had some success in the past. It's just been a while, and so people forget. And our staff and the young women in our program, we're kind of thriving on that. Not that we need any extra motivation or chip on our shoulder or anything like that, but we want to be that next group that hangs a banner in the gym and competes among the best in the conference. Where again, it's a really good conference. We played 5 different top 25 teams last year between the D1 and D2s in our conference. And I'm confident that that's going to happen again this year. But hopefully this year we're able to hold our own a little bit more now that we've, again, been able to do our own recruiting and develop these young women even further to just competing. But again, the big part of the journey is once you feel like you've arrived to, your goal, is to start setting new goals. And again, all those goals involve Glendale Community College women's basketball and just bringing back an essence and pride and success that they've had before.
Absolutely. And, you summed everything up. I mean, as far as, what can fans look forward to this upcoming season? I mean, you now have kind of had this whole time to really set the foundation in. And I'm really excited for that because I know you're a great coach and you know your stuff. So, what can we look forward to this coming season compared to the previous seasons?
Yeah, I would say the things that we are probably excited about most for this year for our program is our depth. And it's funny to say that because you probably know the story by now. We finished last season with 6 young women on the active roster, solely due to just injuries, just unexpected things happen. But those young women that stuck it out and are around and rehabbed and they're healthy, they're back with they feel something to prove and something to look forward to, and we're excited for them for that. But we brought in a recruiting class of 9 young women. That's a big class. There's 6 girls straight out of high school and then 3 transfers. So we've got some depth. We've got some added size and athleticism. But again, their connection, and you can't put a price tag on that, right? Their connection, their chemistry, I think is what's going to impact our success on the court the most, wherein, these young women all feel like they're hungry. They're hungry. Their desire to compete and be successful is something that they all share, and it resonates throughout our program.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm just glad to hear, because I just like to see more competitive balance throughout the conference, because the conference is very enjoyable to follow. And there's so much talent in there. A lot of great coaches as well. A lot of great coaches.
A lot.
So my last question for you, Coach, is, who are a few players that are you expecting to make a big impact for your team this upcoming season?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I know every coach will sit here and say, well, we love all our girls, and that's true for us too. We put a lot of work into recruiting the right type of young women that we want representing our program. And we're super excited about one of our quote unquote returners, Maya Cobb. She only got to play 5 or 6 games last year before tearing her MCL, and having to rehab and recover through that. But since day one, she's been our best leader. And that's, day one of when I got the job. She had done her research. She knew who I was and what my bio said and things like that. And it's really developed that player-coach relationship you want with your point guard, where, you don't have to worry about anything when she's on the court. She's going to give you 110%, but in the namesake also of leading, right? And getting, players the ball where they're supposed to get it. She's a threat herself now that she's fully healthy. And so we're super excited for her going into her, true sophomore year, redshirt sophomore year, and seeing what the future holds for her. That said, another young woman that sat out recovering from an injury, Steffi Cervantes. She went to a small Catholic school on the west side at JP2, and Steffi is a hidden gem for sure. She is the true definition of a gym rat. She lives in the gym. First one in, typically last one to leave, and always finding ways to improve, and so coachable. So coachable. She's growing every day as a leader as well, but super excited to see how she matches up against the other elite guards in the conference. And I'd also add one of our transfers, Steffi's sister, Kayla. They both have, missed out on the opportunity to really play together in high school, both of them getting injured at the time. And so now they get to do that at the college level, where they're more mature, stronger, higher IQ, more refined skill set. And, Kayla's a true 6-foot wing. She can spread the floor, can get downhill, 1-2 bounces and go finish. But she as well in her own way leads, and it may not be always verbal, but it definitely is through her work ethic and motor. And again, it's going to be great to be able to coach young women like that, and just allow them to showcase their talent in the namesake of getting them onto the 4-year level in the right fit and places where they can come in and contribute right away as well.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, again, I'm super excited to be able to cover you guys this season. I know you're going to do a fantastic job. And again, thank you for joining us on this preseason preview show. I really appreciate it.
I personally, and I know this probably echoes for the coaches in the conference, we can't thank you enough for doing this, for promoting the ACCAC, advocating for us and the young women in our programs. So thank you as well. And you're always welcome in any gym that I'm coaching in, George.
I appreciate it. No, thank you so much, Coach. All right, guys. So that was Coach Ernest Shand, head women's coach at Glendale Community College out there in Glendale, Arizona. And now for a little bit of a break and a message from one of our sponsors. Got bugs out of this world? Have no fear. Free Yourself Pest Control is here. Give Derek a call at 480-580-1549 for your free estimate today. Again, please support Free Yourself Pest Control as they sponsor and support local communities and youth sports events. And this is GC3, and I'm in the place to be, coming at you from the Vision Sports Network studio here in Phoenix, Arizona, to round out the ACCAC preseason preview show. I got none other than Cochise College, and here is head women's coach, Coach Opat. Coach, good morning. How are things going down there?
Good morning. We're doing great. Doing great. Thanks for having us on.
No, I'm so excited. I know where you guys are located because my children's family is all from that area down in Douglas and Agua Prieta. So, I kind of know the lay of the land down there. You're definitely about 2 hours, an hour and a half. I want to say about an hour and a half from Tucson, correct?
Yeah, hour and 45 to 2 hours, depending the mode of transportation and who's driving, right?
Yeah, well, with me, I kind of got a lead foot as soon as I get out of Tucson, and I'm kind of in those windy back roads. But it's a beautiful, I really love going down there, especially making the stop in Bisbee. It's so awesome just to see the old architecture, and there's a lot of history on there, and there's a lot of history on the women's basketball program as well. I mean, I know you've built a national power down there. And talking to the four-year schools, and we talk about Arizona women's basketball, your program always comes up as well in the conversation because you've produced a lot of big-time talent down there.
Awesome. Thank you. That's exciting to hear.
So with that being said, let's introduce the viewers to your coaching journey and how long you've been coaching down there at Cochise.
I'm getting ready to start my 5th year at Cochise here, 5th season. It's been an amazing ride. It started a little rocky during the middle of COVID, but, we figured it out the last couple of years, as you mentioned, and, we really found our niche and, really excited about another season, ready to get out and compete with, all the other great teams in our conference and, other regions. And so, in terms of my journey, I've been doing this a long time. I started out back in 1995 as an assistant at the University of Kansas. I'm a Kansas girl, so that was kind of a dream job at that time. And then spent some time at Fresno State and then University of Illinois, Chicago. And I ended up in the Chicago area, not at UIC, but in the Chicago area, 20 plus years. I got out of coaching for a little bit and then got back in at Rock Valley College. It's another junior college up there. Was very blessed in my time there to have 4 national championships, 2 national runner-up, and then took my hand to D1 as a head coach for a brief 18 months at Chicago State. And then this opportunity arose, and I really love the junior college level. You can impact so many more lives here than you can at that D1 level. And so, while our goal obviously is to develop and get kids to the D1 level, I'm loving the junior college level.
No, and that's amazing, especially with, I love the fact that, a lot of your coaching counterparts in the conference, we're kind of discussing JUCO as a viable route for student athletes looking to that are under the radar and just not getting the looks at the high school level, but still have that talent and going to a junior college to continue to develop as well as platform themselves, to be more marketable and for four-year schools. And with the way the recruiting landscape's going, I knew it was a matter of time that the women's side would kind of face the same challenges where, four-year schools are really looking more at into the portal and junior college prospects opposed to trying to recruit right out of high school.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think, I think we're one of many examples. We should have 10 kids suited up D1 this year, from the last two seasons. And so, like you said, it gives the kids another avenue and opportunity. Those 10 kids weren't D1 when they first came here, but, they developed, and, kudos to them for working and moving on to that level.
Absolutely. And I mean, just, you sharing your coach's journey, I mean, that's, networking is the name of networking, and relationships is the name of the game. And you have just an impressive resume, with some of the landing stops you've been at, in your past throughout your journey. So, now let's talk about, the most recent. So last year you had a really solid run with a 26-5 record, trip to the national tournament. How do you utilize last season to prepare for this upcoming season this winter?
I think our sophomores will help with that a lot. Michaela and Jesse are on here, and, they're going to be the catalyst. They've been there. They understand what it's about. We were 4 minutes from beating the undefeated eventual national champion, and, so I think they understand, what it's all about now, and what it's going to take to get back there. It's never easy, especially in this conference, as many times as we play each other, and then, all the good programs that are out there.
Oh, absolutely. It's this just builds a lot more excitement. I know, next weekend we got the Jamboree up in Phoenix. That'll be really exciting to kind of get a glimpse and a preview of I know the conference in recent years it's been getting tougher and tougher every year with the talent. And with that being said, who are your top players that you expect to make a big impact for your program this season?
I think we got a really nice balance of freshmen and sophomores that are going to impact us. I mean, Michaela's our leading returning scorer. She averaged almost 10 a game, one of the best 3-point shooters in the, not only in the conference, but in the country. And, she'll kind of lead us in that perspective. We have six returners. And Jessie will be another impact kid. She had a great summer. Excuse me. They had the NCAA Academy this summer, and both of them, along with Leticia Camden and Michelle Nicolo, were all invited to that event. And all of them got a ton of exposure. All of them are being, have D1 offers out there. And so, it's really, really exciting to be led by them. They're understanding what it takes to become leaders. For our freshmen, we got 6'5", Leslie Penge. And we have, a freshman point guard and a D1 transfer point guard that I think both will be able to step in and help us. Carolina Padilla, right down in Douglas, came to us last year as a walk-on, earned a scholarship this year. Looked really, really good here in the early going for us. So it'll be exciting this weekend, as you mentioned, up at the Jamboree, to see how we, match up against some other teams. We're playing some really good teams up there. So it'll be good to see how it all comes together.
Absolutely. Well, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring on your athletes for, again, thanks for your time, Coach. But yeah, let's bring on Jesse and Michaela. What's going on?
Thank you.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Oh, I can't complain. I have one of the best jobs in the world. Get to talk about basketball, get to go to all the best games, get to have great seats. So, I'm living the dream. Love basketball. So, well, since I have you on, could you guys introduce yourselves to our viewers? Your name, first and last name, and position you play.
Yeah, sure. Hey everybody, my name is Jessie. I'm from Mozambique, and I'm sophomore in Cochise College, and I play post position like 4 and 5.
Hello everyone. My name is Michaela Silas. I'm from Mesa, Arizona, by way of Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I play a 2-3 guard.
Nice. And so, let's talk about kind of your pregame snack or meal. I mean, do you guys have any special things? Because I know there'll be a lot of younger athletes looking up to you, and they want to know kind of the secrets of how they can be like their favorite players. So let's start with that pregame snack or meal.
My favorite snack is like Kit Kat, you know, a little
Okay.
sweet.
Okay. What about you,
Uh,
Michaela?
um, I don't know if I'd have a favorite before game, but definitely after game. I always
Yeah,
make sure I get Reese's peanut butter cups. Got to get that recovery right. But
yeah.
like on our traveling on the way to games and stuff, I am a very big snack person, so I always have a plethora of snacks with me. So yeah.
So what does that include then? I mean, I
You
just
know,
want to know.
the strawberry K bars, those are real good. The oats and honey granola bars, not the hard ones, but the soft ones. And then I'm big fan of Bluey. I always have Bluey fruit snacks with me. And then of course the Slim Jims. Those are yeah.
That's super interesting. For me, when I was an athlete, my pregame meal was always very light and, like kind of my ritual. And then, for me, I used to have a pregame shower. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I can't just go get off of school and then just change and go right into my game uniform. Like, no, I got to go and shower and kind of cleanse myself and kind of, having that shower just kind of resets my mind and kind of gets me into that focus. And of course, music. I mean, in my
Yeah.
high school, I had like a 6 foot tall locker, so I snuck in like a big. Well, we didn't have like the Bluetooth speakers, so now you guys can tell how old I am. I snuck in like my dad's old home stereo with a receiver, and I had like a CD player with burn CDs I had to plug in with an aux cable, and it was super funny. But everybody, all my teammates were like, "Yo, George, man, you got the locker room rocking. Like you got
Mhm.
biggest stereo system," and I'm just like to get, kind of just get into that beast mode or whatever. So, anyways, my last thing for the athletes, which is normally the fun part of it, and hopefully, coach doesn't say, "Okay, I can't wait for Monday's practice because you're going to get a little bit of extra conditioning in." But can you guys give me your best Coach Opat impression?
Do you want to go first, or do you
You
want me to
can
go
go.
first?
You can
All
go first.
right.
Oh my gosh.
No. Uh, we're still going through some growing pains early in the season and everything, but I think one of the most commonly said lines is, "Y'all don't want to have a ball in your hands today. Baseline. We can run the rest of practice." And
Yeah, I was about to say
yeah.
that. Like, if everybody don't make time, we're gonna keep running and
Uh-huh.
running.
And
Yeah,
she said, "We can run until
the price is
tomorrow."
like.
That's what she be. Yeah, but I mean, she's not always like that. We get
Yeah,
her to that point, but it's definitely, you know, we gotta do it. I feel like that's just like something that happens every year with getting our mental toughness right, getting our
yeah,
endurance, getting our like, I mean, running can be seen as a punishment here and there, but like, if you don't want to run, then you gotta do stuff right. So
yeah. We don't want to run all practice though.
yeah. Yeah.
I thought you guys wanted to do Olympic shooting the whole practice.
Oh
Nah.
God. That too.
Well, and again, I mean, I always tell, athletes this when coach gets on you and kind of choose you out, gives you that tough love, that means coach cares about you. It's when coach don't talk to you no more and don't want to see you,
Yeah,
don't want to make eye contact, that's when you have to worry.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
it's funny because now I got like my nieces that are coming up. They're 8 and 9 years old and kind of transitioning to more of a competitive, part in their playing careers. And, my niece will call me, an older one, be like, "Uncle, coach was like yelling at me." I'm just like, get used to it, kid. I mean, you told me, you looked me dead in the eye. Like, Uncle, I know you're into basketball. Can you help me with my career? I go, yeah, I can, but you got to love it first. I go, I'm not going to be able to help you until you love it. And, like my sister's super competitive and crazy about everything. And she's like, oh, I just said, no, let the kids fall in love with the game first. And then when you see that passion ignite, then we can kind of guide them. But for now, let them play everything. But my two nieces are, they love basketball, and I know they're going to spend some summertime with me this summer. My sister's like, we're going to come up so we can, check out what's going on in Arizona. She's like, it's just funny with like the perception of Arizona basketball outside.
Mhm.
Like my sister and my nieces, my brother-in-law, they're out in Hawaii, and they think Arizona is like this big mecca, which it is. I mean, we do well. We have great junior colleges, and our high schools are getting better. So it is, for them, they're just like, they think this is the mecca, and to me, it is. It's growing. So just super
For
grateful
sure.
you guys are that you guys were able to support me and joining on the show. So again, thank you guys for taking some of your time to join me.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having us,
Thank
George.
you.
All
Thanks for
right.
having
I'm
us,
Well,
excited to
George.
see you throughout the season.
absolutely. I plan to be out there. I do want to make the drive down there because right across the border has some of the best tacos. So I definitely want to come down there for a game, especially if it's a weekend game. I think that'd be pretty fun to come down there. So again, thank you guys
Absolutely.
for joining us. Thank you so much, Coach.
We'd love to
And
have you. Are we going to see you next weekend at the Jamboree?
yes, I plan to be there. I want to
Okay.
go there and cover it, and that's right around the corner from where I live. Well, it's more like a 40-minute drive, but around the corner. It's a hop, skip, and a jump, and I look forward to seeing you guys next weekend.
Yeah,
Sounds
for
good. Thanks,
sure.
George.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
George.
All right, guys. So that was Cochise College, and one of the top programs here in the ACCAC. And again, thank you all for joining on the preseason preview show for the ACCAC. Thanks.